Teaching number 219. I give you at this moment my balm, my strength and my caress. I am your Cyrenean, since on earth when the weight of my cross became overwhelming, there was a man with mercy in his heart who helped me share my burden. Here I am, ready to come to your aid when you fall on the road, to give strength to your spirit and lift it up to continue the journey. Step by step you are approaching the Calvary of your life on earth, where your spirit will tell me, Father, into your hands I commend my spirit, everything is finished. Blessed are those who, when that hour arrives and pronounce those words, have finished their mission, because their peace and joy will be great. I want all of you to reach that summit. It does not matter if you arrive broken and without material goods, that you will feel my presence and my mercy as you have never felt before. There I wait for the man, there I wait for the woman, the fathers, the mothers, all those who came to the world with missions to fulfill. Do you want to reach the top? Trust in me who am your destiny, accept trials with love, abide by my will whatever it may be, with a smile on your face, with faith and resignation in your heart. Do not forget that I am omnipotent and omnipresent, so that doubt or weakness will not make you fall into temptation. Sometimes, when you cry in the world and think that I live in heaven where everything is in a state of spiritual bliss, you doubt my love because you cannot imagine that the Father lives joyously while millions of his children suffer until death on earth. It is that you do not want to understand that my happiness will not be absolute until the last one of my children has reached the land of salvation. If I am your Father, think that I inevitably must feel what my children feel, only then will you understand that while each one of you suffers and feels your own pain, the Divine Spirit suffers with the pain of all his children. As a proof of this truth I came to the world to become a man and to carry a cross that represented all the pain and sin of the world. And if, as a man, I carried on my shoulders the weight of your imperfections, and if I felt all your pain, could I, as God, be insensitive to the sorrows of my children? In my spirit there is a hymn whose notes no one has heard, no one yet knows of it in heaven, nor on earth. That song will be heard throughout the universe when pain, misery, darkness and sin have been extinguished. Those divine notes will find an echo in all the spirits, uniting the Father and his children in that song of harmony and happiness. I tell you in truth, that even the stones will speak when that harmony illuminates the lives of my beloved children. Continue to refine your spirit, continue to evolve and perfect it, always carrying your faith on fire like an inextinguishable flame. I must tell you that while you live on earth, you must strive to make your existence as pleasant as possible. It is not necessary to cry, suffer and bleed incessantly in order to deserve peace in the hereafter. If you could transform this earth, from a valley of tears into a world of happiness, where you love one another, where you are primarily concerned with doing good and living within my law, I truly tell you that such a life would be, in my view, so much more meritorious and higher than an existence of suffering, hardship, and tears, no matter how much you might be content to endure it. When will you unite spiritual life with human life, so that you see no boundaries between them? When will you consider your existence a single eternal life, setting aside any notion of death? That light will shine in humankind when spirituality comes to flourish in the world. The light of my word comes at this time to save you from the darkness of materialism in which the spirits have buried themselves, darkness that does not allow them to see the truth even if they have it close and carry it within them. The third era is upon you and it is giving proofs and signs to mankind and will continue to give even greater ones, as if it were an immense bell launched to wake up the living and the dead. Pray, observe, meditate, let my inspiration guide you. You will recognize it whenever you feel driven to goodness and elevation, when from your spirit rises the salutation to its Creator. Glory to God in the highest and peace on earth to men of good will. Blessed people, chosen by my charity, I have selected you in these times of perversity, confusion and pain, to reunite you in a family and form among the peoples of the earth, the people of peace. You live in times of chaos. Only those who manage to spiritualize themselves in these times of trial can survive the pain, the confusion, the coming storm. Only those who rise above all material vanities, human miseries, will be able to resist the universal chaos with serenity and calm and will be like castaways in the middle of the ocean who manage to cling to a tree, which will be faith in my love. For that time I am preparing you. That is why I am teaching you to imitate me, but it is my will that you are not the only ones who practice my doctrine. I want the virtues of your heart, your words and deeds, to attract all the hearts that have to come to me to receive my teaching at this time, so that the people multiply in number, in strength and in elevation among humanity. But what is that chaos, that storm, that test that is coming? They are the feces of the chalice of bitterness that humanity has not yet drunk. It is necessary that mankind, who has prepared that cup with his deeds through the ages, drain it to the last drop, so that he recognizes his own works and its fruits. Blessed people, those men who rise up full of greatness and predominance in the nations, among the peoples of the earth, are great spirits invested with power and possessors of great missions. They are not at the service of my divinity, they have not put their greatness and their gifts at the service of love and charity, they have formed their own world, their laws and their thrones, their vassals, their domains and everything they can covet. And when they feel that the throne shakes before the trials, when they feel that the invasion of a powerful enemy is approaching, when they see their wealth and their names in danger, they rise up with all their strength, full of greatness, of earthly vanity, of hate and ill will, and launch themselves against the enemy, not caring if their work, their idea, leaves behind only the wake of pain, destruction and evil. They seek only the destruction of the enemy, to erect a greater throne, to have greater dominion over the peoples, over riches, over daily bread and over the very lives of mankind. I am preparing you to be my soldiers, but not those who cause destruction or evil, not soldiers of hatred and perversity, of darkness or greed, but soldiers of spirituality, brotherhood, love, of meekness and charity. You will rise up full of strength and trust in me, who am your ideal, full of trust in your weapons which are truth and justice. I am preparing you so that from now on you can fight against that enemy, who is also powerful, but who is not more powerful than you. The day you awaken to spirituality, you will come to the understanding that darkness is weak before light, hate is an atom in the face of the irresistible force of love, and that atom vanishes in contact with true charity. Materialism dwarfs itself before the gifts of the Spirit. The material is temporary and the spiritual has eternal life. You are forming the people who are spiritualized and capable of removing the confusion of the world, to dematerialize and defanaticize it, with your good example, with the good thoughts, words and deeds that you are practicing from now on. If people ask you about teachings that you have not heard from me, or that you have not been able to understand, I will speak through you and I will surprise them, the wise men, the theologians, the exalted one, the ruler and the judge, and to the teachers of the earth. I will make my Marian Trinitarian spiritualist doctrine penetrate everywhere, as air penetrates everywhere, as light dispels all darkness, to illuminate the world. This is how my work will spread, this is how my doctrine will spread, it will penetrate every sect, every institution, every human congregation, every heart and every home. It will cross the roads, it will cross the deserts and seas, and it will fill this world because the third era, the era of light, has arrived for all humanity. At all times I have humanized my manifestations. Remember that in the first era I chose Moses to communicate with you. He was my spokesman and my emissary. I called him to the mount and told him, Moses, bow your head because you will not be able to look at me, go and tell your people that I am their Lord and their God, that I am the God of your fathers, and it is my will that you clean yourself inside and out, so that you are worthy to receive my commandments, my law and my precepts. Through Moses I manifested myself as Father, as law and as justice. Through him I communicated with my chosen people. Through that man I sent my commandments to all hearts. In the second era, I wanted to be closer to you. It was not my divine will that those people take me only as an inexorable judge. I wanted to feel the caress of my children, of the beings made in my image and likeness. And in an act of love and meekness, the Father became a man to teach the humility that is greatness of the Spirit, the true fulfillment of the laws, a life of love, and to teach man to strive for a just, eternal and true ideal. The doctrine of Jesus, given as an example, as an open book for humanity to study, has not been found by any other people on earth, in any generation, in any race, anything similar. Because those who have risen giving precepts of justice or doctrines of charity, have been sent by me to earth as precursors, as emissaries, but not as divinity. Only Christ came among you as divinity. He came to give you the clearest and greatest lesson that the human heart has ever received. And now in this time, beloved people, I have not come to become a man as in that second era, but I have been pleased to communicate with all my children through the intellect of man. And even in the spiritual valley and in infinite spaces you have felt my divine presence. Because on the ladder of perfection there are many rungs, in the spiritual valley and in endless spaces there are many worlds. And truly I tell you, I have always communicated with everyone, and depending on the spiritual level of the world in which they find themselves, so has been my manifestations aligned among them. There are those who ask me, why is it that the Father communicates through human understanding, if humankind is sinful, impure and harbors low passions? And the Master answers, my blessed ray is all purity and perfection, and although the Father is not scandalized by man's sin, he cannot come into contact with impurity. I reach the consciousness of the pedestal, and it is the consciousness that transmits my light, my word, and my teaching to the intellect of the spokesperson. Already the pedestal, beforehand, has been elevated to me in acts of love, reverence and preparation, so as not to mix the low passions and the tendencies of the flesh, with the perfection of my lessons. Soon I will stop communicating through human understanding, for the moment will come when you will be able to communicate with me from spirit to spirit. Then my divine ray will also reach your consciousness, and there you will hear my voice, you will receive my inspirations, my prophecies, and my commandments. This is what I am leading you toward. I will continue teaching and forgiving you, so that in the last moments of my communication through human understanding, you can tell me, Lord, how great is our sin and our wickedness, we have recognized it in time, we have purified ourselves inside and out, in our spiritual lives and in our human lives, and now we come before your infinite mercy, loving one another, loving everything created, forming a single body and a single will. If you reach that point in 1950, the sinful and non-sinful eyes will contemplate me in all my splendor, because it will be the moment in which you begin the fulfillment of the law that the Father has entrusted to you. Be firm on the path, people, because your spirit is fulfilling a delicate mission on this planet. Only the one who purifies himself by love, the one who practices my laws, can stop coming to reincarnate on this planet, but those who in their last reincarnation leave a trace of blood or evil, they will have to return to this earth to repair mistakes, to rebuild what was destroyed, to give life to what they left for dead, to forgive those they did not forgive. In a word, to make restitution. That is why my infinite love tells you, O tireless pilgrim who has long traveled with bitterness in your heart. Here is the one who comes to comfort you, to strengthen you, so that you may continue on the journey to the end. You began this journey long ago, and it is not the first time that I have come to manifest myself on your path. My charity has raised the fallen, healed the sick and brought the dead back to life. My fatherly voice has awakened those who sleep. With the light that my spirit radiates upon you, your spirit is illuminated and contemplates your past as the long path of atonement and spiritual evolution. You also understand the responsibility contracted with your Master to be the faithful witnesses of my teaching. I have told you that the day will come when sects and religions come to interrogate and scrutinize you, and I do not want you to be caught clumsy. They will find you humble, but manifesting my wisdom within your humility. Humanity will need you, and you who spiritually form the oldest people on earth, will not hide the gifts that I have given you, you will show the book that I have opened before you. In each time, and from the beginning of creation, I have made a pact with you. I have faithfully fulfilled what was offered by me, but in truth I tell you, my people have always broken their promises. 6 times I have renewed this pact with you because I love you and want your salvation. In the 12 that I chose in the second era, the human virtues and weaknesses are represented. I used their virtues as an example and encouragement for humanity and took advantage of their imperfections to give you great teachings. Thomas's incredulity represents the positivist, the one who believes only in what he feels and sees. Peter represents the fearful of the judgments of men, and Judas, of those who put a price on the value of the spiritual. At this time I do not come to give you earthly riches, I already gave them to you in other times. Now I come to fill you with wisdom. In all times, men of science have denied and combated my revelations and spiritual manifestations. But I do not fight science, because I am science itself. I am the one who inspires it in humankind for their own good and enjoyment. Truly I tell you that whoever takes science to cause evil, has not been inspired by me. Recognize my word by its essence, I am the vine and you are drinking wine from it. What do you need to be able to follow me? I will give you everything. I am building a sanctuary in your heart to always dwell in it, because my word through the human spokesperson will cease to be heard and only your spirit will feel it vibrate in infinity. Blessed are those who have spirituality, because they will feel my presence and they will be the ones who, walking among misery and tears, bring consolation and salvation to this humanity. My universal ray illuminates your understanding, and in that light that bathes you, you feel full of my presence. The seers contemplate with joy and feel that light that surrounds all spirits. You have seen a great book, which I show to Israel, in which the lesson is contained and is open to the 6th chapter. You have felt very close to you the kingdom that was promised to you when you heard my word, and you already sense the joy that awaits you. All your fears dissipate, because you begin to recognize me as a father, and when you contemplate the fulfillment of my promises that were given in another time to the people of Israel, to the chosen people, you are filled with hope and you begin to form great purposes of amendment and compliance with my law. In my new advent, I am accompanied by spirits of great light, beings who are announcing the proximity of my kingdom and preparing the human hearts. Your world has been illuminated by my presence. Soon you will enter an era of spiritual rebirth that will lead you to the resurgence of all the virtues and that will place you on higher planes. But just as I have come to you, I have come to other worlds, where the spirit fights and is perfected and restored with pain. Between those worlds and yours I have come to establish an alliance. I want you to link your thoughts with the beings that inhabit them, that you dedicate a prayer that comforts and enlightens the troubled spirits of your brothers and sisters. In this way you will be able to understand that your mission is not reduced only to helping your visible brothers, but that there are beings that you do not know, that you cannot touch from your current location and that, however, are in need of you. This world that is your home today, where you have had my clear manifestation, is propitious for you to intervene before me praying for those beings that I speak of. In each era I have manifested myself full of wisdom, essence and love. You have witnessed my manifestations. Who ignores that I, Jehovah, spoke to the world from its earliest days? Who does not know that I came in Jesus to give you my teaching? I want humanity to know that today I have come to clarify and explain every word and every mystery that may have been contained in the book of eternal wisdom. In your continuous transit you have been protected by me. You are eternal travelers and you do not know the future that awaits you. You do not guess when the storm is coming, nor when the iris of peace will appear. Only I, who am the one who watches over you, announce to you, when you are ready, what is to come. This valley, which on some occasions has been propitious and kind to you, has also been hostile to you and has made you shed abundant tears, with which you have washed and purified your spirit. Come to me, you are tired of the road, come under the shade of this tree, which appears before you full of mercy and love for all of its children, and when you have rested and all your sorrows have been eased, think of those who suffer and plead for them. See that I can give them everything without your intervention, but I am pleased that love, charity and mercy be manifested in my children, to come to share the pain or happiness of their brothers and sisters. Your existence has no limit, the end of the flesh is not that of the spirit, because when it comes down to earth, it survives it and finds in its new life infinite reasons to fight and continue climbing. It is then that the spirit, free from the matter that has been oppressing it, frees itself and finds a vast field in which to apply its gifts and the virtues it possesses. When Jesus expired on the cross, the figure of man was erased from your mind and you conceived me infinite, capable of penetrating all mansions, to embrace the universe with my love. Contemplate each other as equals, love each other fraternally, because after 1950 positions will disappear from among you, there will be no guides or spokespersons, supporters or seers, faculties or golden scribes, nor cornerstones. There will no longer be distinctions. To be great it is enough for me to see you prepared even if you have not had positions, so that I pour out my inspiration through you and by it, you guide yourselves. Not only those who have held these positions are those who are qualified to carry out great missions. I want all of you to serve this cause and that in each one of you, all of the positions to be assigned, so that you feel responsible for my work. My word will stop materializing, and with it you will achieve greater spirituality, because then you will seek me in infinity, elevating your thoughts. You will seek to please me by executing meritorious works, and that will give you greater spiritual progress. I want you to feel like true brothers and sisters, to live united, so that you come to feel closer to one another, so that you are closer to me. Those of you who have achieved a greater understanding of my work, teach your siblings. All those who are taking their first steps, join hands and protect each other. This is my will. My peace be with you.